Christopher always warned me with that steady, restrained voice of his. This can't happen. It will ruin us both. But the way his eyes lingered on mine told another story. We weren't in some busy office anymore. We were neighbors now. My small apartment sat across the hall from his, and that single fact made every encounter more dangerous. What happens when the man next door becomes the secret you can't ignore? The first time I noticed it was late one evening. The hallway was dim, quiet, the only sound the soft buzz of the ceiling light. He had just returned from a jog, a sheen of sweat on his skin, his black hoodie hanging loose. I froze when he stopped right in front of me, his green eyes catching mine. It wasn't how a neighbor should look at you. It was how a man looks at something he's trying and failing not to crave. Sometimes the danger isn't in what he says, it's in the silence between words. I should have turned away. I should have unlocked my door and gone inside. But instead, I asked the one question that changed everything. Why do you always look at me like you're fighting yourself? His lips curved into the faintest, most dangerous smile. He didn't answer right away. Instead, he leaned against my doorframe, blocking my escape, and said, "Because I am." And suddenly, the hallway didn't feel like home. It felt like a trap I wanted to step into. From that moment, everything shifted. His morning greetings carried weight. His casual offers to help with groceries felt deliberate. Even the way he held the elevator door for me made my pulse quicken. Our building became a stage. Every glance a secret act. He was control, I was temptation, and the four walls of our apartments held the tension like a secret waiting to break free. But walls have ears, and forbidden feelings echo louder in the quiet of home. One evening, as I carried laundry down the hall, his door opened. "Come in for a minute," he said, his voice low. I hesitated, my basket heavy in my arms, my heart heavier in my chest. Inside, his apartment glowed with warm lamplight, faint jazz humming in the background. Books and files were scattered across his table, but all I noticed was him, leaning against the counter, watching me like I didn't belong there, but he wanted me to. He broke the silence first. "You make me forget who I'm supposed to be," and with that, my safe little world began to collapse. I swallowed hard, setting the basket down, my pulse racing. "And who are you supposed to be?" His jaw tightened, his eyes never leaving mine. "The man who doesn't ruin your future or mine." The honesty in his voice cut deeper than any touch. I should have walked out. Instead, I stepped closer, reckless, bold, as if daring him. "Then stop looking at me like that." Because sometimes the line between danger and desire is just one glance away. For a heartbeat, he froze. Then his hand lifted, almost trembling, brushing a strand of hair from my face. The warmth of his touch burned through me. His voice dropped to a whisper. "Don't make me choose between what I should do and what I want to do." The air between us was electric, heavy, thick with everything unsaid. My chest rose and fell faster than it should, my entire body leaning toward him, even though my mind screamed no. One touch can change everything, even if the kiss never lands. That night ended with nothing more than a charged silence, but it was enough. Enough to keep me awake in my bed across the hall. Enough to make me replay the moment every time I heard his footsteps outside my door. Enough to make me realize I wanted him, even if it meant walking straight into ruin. And deep down, I knew he wanted me too. The most dangerous love stories don't start in boardrooms. They start in hallways where neighbors should just stay neighbors. The next few days were unbearable. Every knock in the hallway, every creak of a door, every low hum of footsteps. I wondered if it was him. I told myself to avoid Christopher, to keep this neighborly distance intact. But the universe had other plans. That night, the fire alarm went off in the building. Not a real fire, just some faulty wiring, but everyone spilled into the hallway. And there he was, standing across from me, barefoot, his dark hair tousled, wearing nothing but sweatpants and that black hoodie. Sometimes danger doesn't come from fire. It comes from the way he looks at you through the smoke. We waited together on the curb until the fire trucks left. Most neighbors disappeared back inside, but he didn't. He stood there, hands in his pockets, eyes fixed on me like the rest of the world had blurred. You should probably head back in, I said softly, trying to break the tension. He didn't move. His voice was low, steady, filled with the weight of everything he'd been holding back. You think I don't hear you, don't feel you even when it's quiet. Every time you close your door, I want to open mine. The scariest secrets are the ones whispered under the night sky when no one else is listening. The words left me trembling. I tried to laugh it off, but my voice cracked. You shouldn't say things like that. He took a step closer, just enough for me to feel the heat radiating off him. I know, but I can't stop. The hallway lights flickered as we re-entered the building. It felt cinematic, unreal, two people walking side by side, knowing something irreversible had already been set in motion. Once the line is crossed in your heart, your body only follows. Later that night, there was a knock on my door. Soft. Hesitant. I didn't need to look through the peephole to know who it was. I opened it, and there he stood, shoulders tense, like he was wrestling himself. For a long moment, neither of us spoke. The silence was louder than any confession. Finally, he said, I'm not here to ruin you. I'm here because I can't stand another night pretending you're just the girl across the hall. What do you do when the man you fear losing is already yours in every way that matters? I should have shut the door. Instead, I stepped aside, letting him in. His apartment had been warm and collected. Mine was softer, candles flickering, a throw blanket draped across the couch, the faint scent of vanilla in the air. He glanced around like he'd just stepped into a world he'd never been allowed to touch. His hands were buried in his hoodie pocket, but his eyes gave him away. They searched me like I was a secret he wanted to memorize. Sometimes the most dangerous places aren't in cities or battlefields. They're living rooms where hearts break open. He spoke again, barely above a whisper. Tell me to leave, and I will. I stood frozen, my chest rising and falling too fast. My lips parted, but the words refused to come. I didn't tell him to leave. I didn't tell him anything. That was enough. He stepped closer, closing the distance, his hand brushing against mine. My entire body lit up like electricity had surged through me. His thumb grazed my wrist, holding me there, not with force, but with intent. Some touches feel like warnings. Others feel like destiny. His lips hovered near mine, close enough for me to taste the heat of his breath. He paused, waiting, testing the strength of my silence. And then, finally, I leaned in. The kiss was soft at first, hesitant, as though both of us were terrified of what it meant. But then it deepened, fire bursting through the cracks of everything we'd denied. His hand slid to the small of my back, pulling me closer, anchoring me to him. The most dangerous kiss is the one you know you can't take back. When we finally pulled apart, I was breathless. He rested his forehead against mine, eyes shut, his voice strained. You have no idea what you've just done to me. My lips curved into the faintest smile, though my heart pounded in my chest. Maybe I do. He let out a shaky laugh, his thumb brushing across my cheek. This could ruin us both. I whispered back, or it could finally set us free. Because sometimes the riskiest love is the only one worth falling for. That night changed everything. We weren't neighbors anymore. We weren't just two people passing in the hallway. We were something else, something dangerous, beautiful, and impossible to undo. And as I lay awake, replaying the taste of his kiss, I knew the truth. Ruin or not, I wouldn't trade this forbidden love for anything. When love breaks every rule, sometimes the only choice left is to let it.